Welcome to the episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we're going to be breaking down episode 2 of the Bachelorette Jen season. She is here bringing on the Jenergy. And I'll tell you what, this episode was wild. I mean, you guys thought that the girls can cause a little bit of drama amongst each other. These guys, it got crazy. It got crazy. Obviously, we are hitting Australia with Jen and the crew. Jen is very, very excited because she has a lot of very hot men amongst her, and she is smitten by that idea. The place looks absolutely fantastic. But once we see them move in, we find out that there's going to be a date where only some of the guys are going to get to go on the date. We had Sam and Marvin, Brian, Jonathan, Aaron, Grant, Jeremy, and Devin are all heading on to this first group date. They head into a farmer's market style place, which was really cool, to be honest with you. Like, this is the type of stuff that I like. The atmosphere, you try different things. You can get coffee, you can get ice cream, you can get food, you can get like meats, you can get produce. They try sampling things throughout the entire time. Um, she tried kangaroo testicles, which was interesting. Sam N can't have any dairy, kind of felt a little left out because of that. But Devin, this is not the first time we're going to talk about Devin. Won't be the last time we talk about Devin. But Devin pulls her aside away from the other guys to get her some gelato. Her favorite thing is ice. She loves ice cream. He loves ice cream. He made a move. Everybody else was mad about it. Look, you can be mad all you want, but Devin made the move. Be more mad that you didn't come up with the idea of making that move, right? That to me is where I think this entire thing kind of blew up in everybody's face. And I will continue to say this throughout this episode. They went to a comedy show, and we see the lady, the host on stage, she roasts the guys, which was hilarious. However, each of the guys had 10 minutes to write jokes and go up there and perform. Jen said she needs to have somebody with humor, which, yes, you have to be able to laugh and joke with your significant others. Very, very vital, very, very important in a relationship. Devin kicks us off, and it was very, very funny. However, everyone, because of this little stunt that he pulled, everyone roast Devin in this entire thing. He was an easy target because he pulled her aside. So this was great for Devin's game because, in my opinion, she thinks that, hey, maybe they see him as a threat and maybe I need to, maybe he's doing making the right moves. Period. Aaron said that Devin has a target on his back. Like, what is this? The mole? Like, what is this? Big brother? Like, we're trying to vie for the affection of and love of a woman. One woman. This isn't Love is Blind. This isn't a perfect match. This isn't another competition show where there's other women here. There's one woman here, and you're trying to vie for that attention. He made a move. You didn't get over it. Next, we see Jonathan slide into Jen's DMs here, as I will say. These two really hit it off. I like Jonathan. They have a nice little soft moment. I thought it was very warm and receptive. I think that they had such a adult moment, I guess you can say. Everyone comes at Devin while they're talking. Aaron is all butthurt, crying and whining about it. Grant stepped up, another one that I really kind of liked. They broke down the fight family dynamic, which Jen was really smitten by. You got to remember, you're on this show to find your significant other that you're going to propose to at the end of the show, obviously right off into the sunset, et cetera, et cetera. So why not begin to have those conversations of what that future looks like? I want to be a dad. I want to be this. I want to do that. This is what our future looks like. This type of stuff got him where he was at. And this is the reason why my boy Grant got him a little bit of kiss. You know what I mean? Second kiss. I like it. Back at the house, Marcus finds out that he's later on going to get a one-on-one date with Jen, which is really, really cool. Marcus, another one that I'm a big fan of. Aaron comes at Devin. First problem is this. He calls him Dylan, which isn't his name. First, but many times he does. He like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, asking how serious he is about Jem. What is he? He calls him a boy. Like, what is going on? This is literally a joke. Like, Aaron, are you a big brother or are you trying to vie for Jen's love? I don't understand. Like, are you there just for argumentative purposes or just to keep Jen, I need to make sure Jen's protected. Again, like, what are you, the Secret Service here? I don't understand what the point of Aaron just coming at him strong. You know what I mean? A few moments later, Devin decides to up the ante a little bit more by interrupting Aaron's meeting with Devin and brings her ice cream. This was by far one of the funniest moments of this episode. He interrupts her. He tries to talk about, and just Aaron wasn't having it, but Devin was like, I don't care, bro. It's my time. And she gets up and he tries to talk to her and talk about how serious it was and how serious he is about her. And then he comes in after they have a good conversation. Aaron comes in and interrupts, which is hilarious. Jen doesn't really love that Devin and Aaron are fighting over one another. However, Devin then returns and says, I want to plant a kiss on you. She said you should. And boom, they kiss. Two kisses, one episode word, two versus one here, right? And then they got a kiss again. Aaron's still crying. Group date rose goes to Grant. I don't think anybody should be surprised by that. Again, the family conversation really stepped up and I think impressed Jen here, which is very nice. Marcus and Jen go skydiving. She's terrified of heights. Obviously, Marcus, formerly being in the military, was great there for her, being that comfort, being that calm presence for her while she was fighting the hell out of it. Marcus opens up post-date about his deployment, how a grenade went off. This was, again, Marcus talked about how his struggles with the vulnerability, and this to me showed a side of himself that he hadn't showed her yet. Obviously, we're like 2 weeks into this thing, but it's all about trying to vie for her attention and giving her something to remember you by, right? You have to make an impression that makes her want to give you that rose at the end of these episodes. So that was a really somber moment. Love me some Marcus. Big fan of Marcus. It's just a sweet moment. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, got a little choked up myself over it. They did an Australian photo shoot with all of the guys. The winner will win a rose. Will win a date with her later on. Sam M and Jen, they have some chemistry. But I mean, the guy's very good looking, but also he kind of gives me like fuckboy vibes. You know what I mean? And I just not sure I like him. Nothing against him yet. Good looking guy, but we'll see. Hakeem is like terrified because he is not having a good time, not a big fan of animals. He turns out he's even more afraid of bugs and he was hoping no spiders. And of course, this all leads up to it being a spider that he would have to take a picture with Jen on. She kind of was there for him, kind of like built him up a little bit. A very cute little moment that I thought that I really enjoyed. Um, yeah. And then, of course, while the snake comes out, Jen's terrified of snakes. It was just her by herself. Dylan stepped up to the plate, and that was a slam dunk in her head. This leads to her picking him for their date. They had a cute little date. Very, very much, very, very excited about that. I love, again, Dylan, another one. Big fan of Dylan. Aaron is confronting Devin. He calls him Dylan again instead of Devin, which pisses him off. Again, who are we? I mean, are we Jen's protector here? He calls him a bully, which really, honestly, Aaron, you're the bully here at this point. And he gives him a book about principles of self growth. What in the world is going on with this Aaron guy? I cannot believe this guy is still here. I don't get it. Some of the guys that were at the Australian photos were pissed off because they didn't get some one-on-one time. So they asked basically everybody that already kind of had some more one-on-one time to kind of step aside. However, when Jen shows up, Devin pulls her aside, grabs her attention. Aaron is mad, and basically some of the other guys are mad. Some of them kind of spoke up and were like defended what he did, but at the other time, some of the other guys were crying. Thomas is the biggest baby I've ever seen in my entire life. Thomas steps in, interrupts their time, confronts Devin. He yells, they go back and forth. And instead of pulling Jen aside, instead of saying, hey, Devin, it's my turn with Jen. No. Instead, he pulls Devin aside to say he has a problem with her. And then, of course, Jeremy says that he respects the hell out of Devin for being himself. Agree. Like, Jen kind of gives Thomas the business back to him, saying that they were trying to speak for her, and that isn't fair to her. Thomas is gone. See ya. Like, I really wish he'd have been gone for good. He cries about Devin being a bully. Sam M is getting down to business with a massive kiss on Jen. She said he bothers her. I mean, he's hot. That's what it is. These two have, I would say, sexual chemistry. You know what I mean? And I think it ends there, to be honest with you. But I think that's going to keep him around for a while. Spencer got in on some action. We might have locked lip. We only might have locked lips in the first episode one time, but Jen's getting to make it up for it in episode two. Good for her. Exploring the field. I like it a lot. Thomas said he had to step outside before he's going to punch Devin in the face. The two argue back and forth, you just bicker back and forth. First off, Thomas, you wouldn't have punched anybody, dog. You would have swung and probably hit somebody else. But that is it. All right. Now it's time for the rose ceremony. Who's getting roses? Who's not getting roses? Austin is first up. We got Austin, Hakeem, Spencer, Jeremy, Jonathan, Thomas A, Sam M, shocker, my boy Devin. I think she made him wait on purpose. Sam N, Aaron in his book, and the final rose went to Thomas. Really? Thomas, Jen? I thought like last week we didn't see eye to eye on a few things, but we're back again, and I'm very confused. What happened, Jen? We were having a good episode together where I wasn't really complaining about anything you did. You like ice cream? I like ice cream. You gave Thomas the business about speaking up for you. I was proud of you. You went and skydived, terrified of that, terrified of snakes, faced that. You were doing your thing. Then you had to go and let this weasel come back in the thing. Now we're gonna listen to him next week complain about damn Devin. He cares more about Devin than he does you. But that being said, 18 men, 15 of them received roses. Johan, Marvin, and Brian were sent home. Very sad about Jahan. I liked him, but we didn't really see a whole lot of mix and mingle between those three. And Jen, that being said, another very eventful episode, maybe a very more eventful episode of this show that I've seen in quite some time, right? Lots of bickering, lots of fighting. I'd love to hear your comments right now on who you think right now is that kind of front runner for The Bachelorette. We saw the trailer for the next time episode where we're starting to see some real drama from outside the circle come back into the fold. So that's going to be definitely interesting to see how that goes. But that is it for episode 2 of my recap of The Bachelorette Jen edition. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and we'll be back next week talking about it again.